So today we'll be covering two topics. I will take you through the Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales, and then I'll hand you over to Ravish to show you customer service. Please feel free to send questions in the chat during both of the presentations, as Ravish and I will be sharing this time, so we'll get to all the questions at the end for both of the presentations. So Microsoft Dynamics 365 Sales is a comprehensive CRM solution that empowers sales teams to engage customers more effectively and to close deals faster. So how does it empower these sales teams? It integrates with Microsoft's Copilot to provide AI-driven insights and predictive analytics to help you prioritize leads, personalize customer experiences, and make data-driven decisions. D365 also connects seamlessly with tools like Microsoft 365, Teams, and LinkedIn, which makes collaboration easier and workflows easier to streamline. Some additional features like sales forecasting, managing your pipeline, and relationship insights provide a structured approach to tracking progress and identifying opportunities across the sales journey. So let's talk a bit about Copilot, because we mentioned it, but what exactly does it do? In Microsoft Dynamics 365 Sales in particular, Copilot helps streamline opportunity management by providing AI-driven suggestions and insights to assist the sales teams in decision-making. It can help identify and prioritize high potential opportunities, suggest next steps based on historical data in your CRM system, and generate summaries of sales interactions. Copilot also assists in drafting follow-up emails, tracking customer sentiment, and highlighting important data points within the sales process. So this makes managing opportunities much more efficient, which enables sales teams to focus on the actions that are more likely to convert a lead into a closed deal. So we'll actually get into more of the out-of-the-box solution for D365 and its pipeline management use cases and see how it works with Copilot to make the sales process even more streamlined. So we're going to switch over to actual CRM. So this is D365 Sales out of the box. And what does out of the box mean? It basically means that this is what you get when you get the solution before any customizations are made, because you can edit and make customizations in the backend to suit your business needs. So you can see here that out of the box, it comes with a lot of different tables, but what we're going to focus on is account management and the lead to opportunity pipeline. So we can navigate to the accounts table, and this is a list of all the accounts in your system. And we can open up a sample record to see the type of data that can be stored for your account. So these will be your customer data. And as you can see on the form that's displayed, a lot of different information can be stored. Information like their contact information, their address. I'd also like to point out this section called the timeline, which shows all the activities and communications with this particular account, because D365 Sales can be linked to Outlook. So the emails that you have in Outlook can be tracked against particular accounts in D365 as well. Additionally, you can also note that it connects a primary contact to your account. So you not only can you store your customers, but you can also store contacts related to your customers. So if we quickly go to this contact, we'll be able to see some of the data that is stored for contact as well. And you notice here that the forms all have a similar look, but you can customize the type of data that is collected on each form. And there's also different tabs to store information as well. So it's not just a one-page form. So now let's go to the leads and opportunity pipeline section. So I'll go to the leads table and open up a lead that we have. And you've noticed that this lead looks a little bit different to the account and contact form, and that's because it includes a business process flow at the top here. So this basically helps the salesperson go through the process of converting a lead to an opportunity. And this is where we'll actually start looking at Copilot. So you might be wondering, where does Copilot start? Where is it integrated into this system? So if you notice, this little icon on the right is the Copilot icon. This is how you can make it bigger so that you can see the information in Copilot. So showing how Copilot can be used against this, let's ask Copilot to summarize this lead. And I'm going to type this prompt in the bottom here. You have 500 words that you can have, and you can really get very creative with the prompts that you give it. So you can see in a matter of seconds, I asked Copilot to summarize the lead, and it shows all the personal information for this particular record. It says it pulls information as well from the contact and the account that is linked to this particular lead as well, so that you can easily see all of the important information. So now let's get into actually qualifying this lead into an opportunity. So because we had this lead set up before, we can move it straight into an opportunity. So I'm going to pull your attention to the command bar at the top here, where it has quick action buttons that you can do. So there is a qualify button, so that's how we can qualify this lead into an opportunity. So we'll hit that. And what this does is it will automatically create an opportunity record related to this lead. So we'll give it a second to create this record. And you can see the lead was successfully qualified, and it will bring you on to the opportunity record that was created. Now you notice that we are still on the same business process flow. It's just that now we are on an opportunity record instead. It has also pulled the data from the lead record so that the salesperson does not have to re-enter information that was already entered on the lead. So now we'll go through the steps in the business process flow to close out this opportunity. So I'm just going to pull in some information here, and all of these steps in this process and the data that is collected is customizable to your particular business needs. And so when you are done with a particular stage and filling out the information needed, we can hit the next stage button. This will take us to the next stage in the process, where you can fill out your information. And then you will go to the stage, which is the final stage, is the close stage. So this particular process only had 4 stages, but it could be more or less depending on your business need. So let's complete this process and fill out all of the needed information. I'll also give it some more information so that we can really see Copilot start to work. And I'll save all this information. And the last thing I want to do is close this opportunity as one. So I will go back to the command bar and close as one. Here you can see that information is automatically pulled, and you can also edit this information if you need to and give it a description, but I'm just going to put OK here. So now that this opportunity has won, the record has become read-only, so you cannot go in and edit the record anymore. And now let's look at how Copilot can be used in this sales process. So you can see the history of your Copilot prompts are here. So the summary of the lead that we did before is still here, and you can add more prompts to it. So we can actually ask them to summarize this opportunity as well. So we'll send that as a prompt. And not only will it pull information from the opportunity, it will also pull information related to the lead that is linked to this as well. So this summary is a bit longer, as you can see, and it shows the summary as well as key info, not only related to the opportunity, but also the lead, the account, and the contact that are all related. And we have been typing prompts, but you can actually see some of the out-of-the-box prompts that Copilot suggests. So for example, if you hit view prompts here and you go to the prompt guide, we can go into get info and look at something called like show my pipeline. And once we send this prompt, you'll see a pipeline of your open opportunities ordered based on the estimated close date. So this is all of the opportunities that me as a salesperson has ordered by the particular close date on the opportunity. So that's just some of the prompts that Copilot can have. So let's look at one more. As a salesperson, I can go into Copilot and go to ask questions and say, what is newly assigned to me? And we can send that prompt and we'll see a quick summary of all of the assigned leads and opportunities that the salesperson got in the last 15 days. So Copilot can also not only just work in D365 sales, but it can also connect with Outlook, which would enable you to track your communication with your contacts and related to particular accounts and leads. And this is just a small overview of how Copilot makes the sales process a little bit more intuitive. And for this particular part of the D365 demo, this is the end of it, but I will hand you over to Ravish to go over customer service. And just as a reminder, if you have any questions about D365 sales, you can send it in the chat and we will get to it at the end. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, Celeste. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ravish Raghunanan. I'm a business analyst with Davin. And today I'll be walking you all through a little overview and demonstration of our case management system. And I'll talk firstly about some of our key features. And so the main thing is it is a single point of entry for all users, meaning all users within your organization that utilize this application will have one URL that they go to. They'll be able to sign in with their work email address. In addition, we have a single point of contact for all customers. And so customers that reach out to your organization for support or help of some sort, we're going to be able to provide them a single email address that they could reach out to you guys to be able to receive that support from anyone within your organization. And this is an application that will allow us to view, track, and manage all of those cases or support requests that come in to your company. And the whole goal of it is for us to increase that response time to your customers while simultaneously decreasing the time to actually close off those requests. And we allow the handling of a variety of types of cases or requests, whether that be email, phone call, walk-in, and we have plans to implement some other sources as well, maybe WhatsApp at some point. And once these cases come into the system that you're going to see in a moment or two, we also have the ability to share it or route it between different departments in the organization, and as well as email the customers directly from within the application. And of course, with customer support, there may be things we want to automate as a response to the customer, so the system is built to handle that as well. And so all in all, what I'm about to show you is this system that will allow us to collect requests from our customers, for you and your departments to handle those requests and be able to walk that case through its life cycle to get it to a point of resolution and completion. And so now I'm just going to switch my share over to another window where we take a look at that actual application. And so what you're seeing here on screen right now is our case management application. This is our personal one for Davin. And a couple of things to note. It is a single URL, like I talked about, that all users are going to be able to access. And what we have on screen is a view. Now, throughout the day, you will have the ability or the opportunity to see similar applications. So I'm just going to say very quickly that here on this view, we're able to see a collection of all the cases we currently have. We have a couple other views our users could select. And we show some details: when it was created, what number the case has, its status. Take a note of the status. We'll come back to that a little later. And some other details, the subject and the department that it's currently with, as well as a priority. And so in the background, and so I'm going to ask Celeste to maybe help me out with this and send a support request to us. And the system, those requests are sent to a single email address, support@davintiti.com. And when a case comes in, we're able to, the most recent case is going to show up to the top of the view. So your users could come in, they could grab the first case, and I'm just going to double click to open it. That's going to take me to the case main form, which you're seeing now. And on this screen, we have a couple different things. You'll notice there's a business process flow, very similar to the one Celeste would have just shown you. And below it, we have different tabs with different details about the case. And of course, top left, we're going to show that case number. That case number is always going to be visible on the form, regardless of tab that you go to, just so that your users have an idea of what case they're currently working on. Okay, so we have a case in the system. I'm going to act as a user that wants to handle this request for the customer. And so currently the case is at the new stage in the business process flow. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on it and review some of the information that we have. We have the case number, like I talked about. We have a priority. And by default, we give all cases a medium or general services priority. Of course, you have the option to choose a different priority if you wish. We have business critical or non-critical. Today, I'm going to say this is business critical. I talked earlier about routing cases. And part of routing cases is assigning those cases certain service types. For this demonstration, in the interest of time, we're not going to go down this route, but I'll just say that this is a method for us to further categorize this case for a specific request from the customer that you all see very often. For example, if you are a bank that issues credit cards, a popular issue might be credit card renewal. So we would have a service type for credit card renewal. Today, we're not going to go down that road, but the option is here. Because I'm not selecting a service type, I'm just going to say no. And when we do have a service type, the system does some stuff in the background for us. Right now, it won't. And we can add some other information. We've automatically linked the contact, that is the individual that sent us that email. And we have the option to enter a phone number for them if they provided one for us. And if they work for a certain business, we actually have the ability to search for that for the employer inside here and make that link as well. If, for example, they worked for Bhagwan Singhs, we could search for our customer in the database and link that to the case as well. So I've accepted this new case. I've reviewed those initial details, and I'm ready to start working on it. So I'll proceed to the next stage. And at this point, I want to get an idea of what the customer is actually asking for. Now, usually when a customer sends you an email, someone has to go into Outlook, find that email, and respond to the customer within there. What we have provided within this application that's available in the web is a timeline tab where you're going to see that correspondence between you and the customer. So the first entry in the timeline is that email that came in from Celeste. Her subject was their system issue was found. She's letting me know there's an issue. And once we received that email from her, we actually sent her an automatic response, letting her know that we received her request and letting her know the case number as well. So Celeste, if maybe you could drop in chat a screenshot of this from within your Outlook application, please.
Yes.
Thank you. So we have the correspondence tracked here in browser for you. So you have the option to review what the customer is asking for and decide how you want to proceed. So on the review stage, we give the option again to select a service type because having read the email, maybe you found one, or reassign the case if needed. Now, what I haven't talked about up to this point is case ownership. If we look to the top right, we'll see that the case is currently owned by customer support, which belongs to the Darwin HQ team. Now, that is our overarching or headquarters team. But we have the option to share the case with other departments or users who may be better equipped to handle this request from your customer. And so what I'm going to do on the review stage is perhaps I realize that I am not best suited to deal with this case. I can assign it out to someone else. So at the top, for each case, we have a list of buttons that we make use of pretty frequently. Right now, we'll make use of assign. And we have options. I can assign it to myself, or I can assign it to another individual. Maybe I want to assign this to Celeste, of course, in this case, she sent the email, or I won't ask her to work on it. But we have that option as well. We can assign not just a user, but actually to a department. So here I have the option if I wanted to pass this case over to our cloud department. For now, just a showcase, I'm going to choose myself, and we're going to notice some changes to the case top right. The moment I hit assign, that ownership is going to get adjusted. I will become the user that owns the case, and my team, Power Platform, is the department that also owns the case. And at this point, what it means is that not only do I have access to this case to work on it, but anyone within my department also has access to it to assist me with working on this case. So at this point, we've gotten a case, we reviewed it and assigned it to a user who could work on it. And I will progress the case to a new stage in progress, where the actual work to help this customer will begin. And from looking at the timeline, I can see that the customer hasn't really given me much details around the issue. And so I'm going to go ahead and ask the customer for more details. Now, usually with customer support, again, someone is going to have to go into Outlook and create an email response to the customer and send it up. And more than likely, that response will come from their personal inbox, or in some cases, a shared mailbox. What we have enabled here is the opportunity for you to respond from Outlook directly within this browser application. So I'm just going to go to the most recent item in this thread with the customer, and I'm going to choose to reply to them. When I do, that's going to generate a draft email for me, and it's actually going to set a couple things as well. And we see that it will set for us our sender to be a single point of contact for all customers. So if I was to mouse over our sender, we'll see that it is support@davintiti.com, even though I'm logged in with my email, with my account, and my account, of course, has a different email address. So we have that opportunity here to have that shared correspondence with the customer. And of course, we're setting the recipient as Celeste. This case in the background has her email as attached to it. So we know we're sending it to the right person. And we have options with the response. We could type whatever response we wanted. We could make use of templates. These are templates that we will define elsewhere in the system, but we could select it from here. And we have a little sample here that we've pre-filled. We're going to say, dear customer, give them some details. We even throw a little footer for the email. We also have the option to make use of Copilot. So if I was to click on that draft with Copilot button, it's going to take a little second to come up. But Copilot is going to give us the opportunity to draft correspondence. And similar to what Celeste would have shown before, we can prompt Copilot to give us whatever response we would like. Copilot does not want to help me out right now. Just going to give it maybe another moment, and if not, I'll move on. Okay. Doesn't want to help me out right now, but it gives you the Copilot will help you draft this email if you want. So for now, I'm just going to say, I'm going to type my response to the customer. Right. And I can go ahead and send this. And so that's going to actually send it out from the Outlook account, support@davintiti.com. If someone was to log in to that Outlook application for that email address, they would see this email within their send list. And actually, we're going to see that we're going to see who it was sent by as well. So in a couple of minutes, Celeste will get a response to that. Celeste will see that in our inbox. But in the interest of time, we're going to move forward. So I've sent a response to the customer. I'm going to wait for them to get back to me. And for this case, I'm just going to change the status. I'm going to change the status to waiting for info. and I'm going to save. Because I know that I need this customer to get back to me. So I'll set the status for the case, and I can move on to work on something else. So I've just gone back to the view, the all view for all cases, and we can see that that most recent case from Celeste has that status of waiting for info. At some point, she's going to respond, and when she does, the system will automatically switch the status of the case to customer responded to allow the users a visual cue that they can proceed to work on this case once again. So if I was to open up a case that currently has customer responded and go to the timeline, I will see that yes, the most recent item in the thread is from the customer, letting us, they're giving us some information here. So at that point in the in progress step, we give you the ability to continue corresponding with the customer until you reach the point of resolving the case. And when the case is resolved, we could proceed on that business process flow. We'll move from in progress on to resolution, and we'll just ask for a couple of different things. We'll ask for some resolution details, and the system will automatically set the case status to close. And we're also going to do a little automatic email to the customer, where we're going to let them know that their case for that number was closed. We'll let them know which team closed it and when it was closed. And so in this way, we're able to handle cases through the entire life cycle, from the moment they come in all the way up to the point that they're closed, and we're able to do it entirely within this system here. And so that brings me to the end of my demo. Thank you all very much. I'm just gonna switch back to the PowerPoint. And at this point, we can move on to a Q&A session.